18 brand new games just announced for Quest, and the first one is Arcade Paradise VR. This is a flat screen to VR port. In this game, this is kind of a sim arcade style game where you're going to make your own arcade. In fact, you're actually going to take a laundromat and transition it over to an arcade. I've not played this game before in flat screen, but I love arcade games. And there's another arcade game, the name escapes me right now, on the Quest that's a lot of fun. So I'm all for Arcade Paradise making its transition to virtual reality. Next up is Defy. This one looks downright terrifying. The locations look interesting and the monsters look creepy as heck, so I probably will not be playing this game. Not a lot about this game or what exactly it is in this trailer, just enough to know that it is creepy, and I won't be playing it more than likely. Next up is Grim. This is by the developers of Ghosts of Tabor, and this is coming next year as well. This game looks like it could be very, very interesting. It's a survival sci-fi game where you're on a harsh planet and you have to get supplies and build your base up, and it's a multiplayer game. Sounds fantastic. I think it's going to be a blast. I love anything to do with space, astronauts, sci-fi type stuff, and Grim sounds like it could be really, really fun in multiplayer, just kind of, surviving in space. Speaking of surviving, the Ghosts of Tabor developer is also coming out with a third game that they announced called Silent North. This is an online multiplayer and like an MMO zombie open world type game. Sounds really cool. There is another zombie MMO on the Quest in Survival Nation, and that has had a lot of great updates as well, but this seems to be an open world one, maybe a larger space, I don't know. Ghosts of Tabor is fantastic. You haven't played it, so both of these games are likely to be really good as well. I'm excited to try both of them, both Grim and Silent North. Next up, Astro Hunters. Now, there's very little that this trailer actually tells us, and even less information online about this game. We don't really know exactly what Astro Hunters is. The trailer's pretty amazing, but as you know as well as I do, that trailers don't mean absolutely anything. It's coming in 2024. There's a spaceship, and it's something about Astro Hunters. I don't know, but I'm interested. Project Demigod I've actually played quite a bit before. I featured it at some point across all the videos that I've done, and it is a lot of fun. It's a superhero style game where you can change your powers, you become a superhero. It's making its way to the official Quest store next year. It's being published by Fast Travel Games, I believe, but it's being brought to the Quest store anyways, and congratulations to the developer. It's a lot of fun. It kind of is a sandbox from what I've played. Hopefully we'll get some more story to it than just a sandbox, but even as a sandbox, it's quite fun. This is Soul Covenant by Third Verse. They've released several games on the Quest already. I don't know. It looks, honestly, it looks kind of basic to me. It doesn't necessarily look like something I would enjoy, but maybe you will. If you look at the art style and the fighting style, you'll probably know exactly which games that they've come out with before. Third Verse, yeah, you can probably guess. The Pirate Queen, A Forgotten Legend, is an interesting game. It is a pirate game. Looks like it's a story-based kind of game. Everything I've seen on it, I'm not sure about it. It's got some big names attached to it. I think it was at South by Southwest, and it got some awards. It sounds like it could be fun. It does come out in February, though, so we don't have long to wait, and hopefully it is a decent story game. I don't know. I'll wait and see. This next game I'm actually quite excited for. This is Zero Caliber 2. I love Zero Caliber 1. I think it's one of the better shooters on the Quest for like a story-based shooter, or at least it used to be. There's a lot more than when I played it the last time. It's still a fun game, but Zero Caliber 2 hopefully will be even better than the first one. Zero Caliber, one of the cool things about it is the mod support and co-op, and there's just a lot to that original game. So there's a lot to improve as well, and I'm excited to see what they've done with Zero Caliber 2 to just make it even better. Undercover VR is an arcade light gun style shooter, and I am completely excited for this because I love light gun games. I know that it's not as necessarily like immersive, like you can't move through the environment like a VR FPS, but I personally am a massive fan of light gun games, just always have been. Time Crisis, House of the Dead, just great games in really cool series. And this is 100% like Time Crisis. In fact, it even takes the artistic cues from it. So I'm excited to try this out. Undercover VR. Limbo XR Dance. They came out with a workout experience a while back that was actually quite good, and I've done, I think it's Body Combat, I think is what it's called, and it's pretty good. I've done it here and there. I'm not a dancer, so I probably will not play this, but it looks like a dance workout type thing. I don't know. I cannot dance. It's not so much I'm not a dancer. I'd like to be like able to dance and have rhythm in dancing and moving, but I just don't. I just don't. This next one, Hunt Together, actually sounds very cool. There's 2 different modes apparently, a 1v1 which you're seeing in this trailer and a 1v3 I think, so 4-player total. It's a kind of a game. It's a game where one player plays as like a ghost and the other plays as a hunter, and you have to try to, take each other out. And I love that type of game, like that scary kind of one person's a bad guy and hiding out and the other person's hunting for them. It's like a scary game of hide and seek, and the 1 versus 3 apparently is literally like a hide and seek mode. So Hunt Together, I want to play this. It sounds fun with friends. Obviously, without friends, you'd just be a lonely ghost sitting in the corner of a room, but hopefully it's fun with some real people playing with you. And this is Nope Challenge. This seems to be an interesting concept. Essentially, it's a fear-based game where you start off at a low level and you work your way up to terrifying, whether it's spiders or clowns or heights or whatever your fear is. It's going to test that fear, and it gives you a nope button on your wrist, and if you hit the nope button, you actually teleport to like this oasis, like on a beach or a jacuzzi or whatever you're seeing on screen here, and then when you're ready to go back, you can go back, but it gives you a break. It's a unique concept, and I think it'll be fun at parties and to show people new to VR kind of how scary VR can really be. This is, I think, said Mind Scope. It's Mind X COPE. It's a unique art style. I do like this kind of cel-shaded art style. It's another technology sword kind of combat game. We've seen quite a few of those over the last several months. I'm not sure what to think about this one. It could be interesting. Honestly, to me, it didn't feel all that interesting. When I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, look, another one. I don't know why I feel like that. Maybe I just, maybe I'm jaded or something. I don't know. It looks like it could be interesting, but again, there are so many experiences that are similar that I'm not sure. It has to have something that makes it stand out, and I hope it does. I don't know how to pronounce this next one. Umurangi Generation VR. It's about pictures. You're taking photos, which is cool. It sounds like it's a flat game. I've never heard of it. Maybe I'm an uncultured, awful person for not knowing what this is. But apparently you take photos. It's designed to work for both beginners and actually experts, because you can change all the camera settings. You can set up locations. You can use spray paint, it looks like, to paint spots and take pictures. There seems to be NPCs. I don't know if it's multiplayer. The way they're posing seems kind of interesting. I don't know. It's all about taking photos anyways. And if you're a photographer or you're interested in, taking photos in like a kind of a pixel-based world, it looks like this could be something interesting for you. Next up is The Burst. I honestly thought this was something from like Joyway because of the way that the mechanics worked in the game. Like the way that the free running works. That's the developer of Stride, by the way. They've had a couple of games that uses similar mechanics, but apparently it's not. It's supposed to be a high-speed shooter, it says, with intense movement and gameplay. It's in a desert prison planet. That's where the game takes place. It says you play as a Spec Ops operative to bring down the tyrannical warband leader and her goons. It sounds interesting, and it looks like it could be fun. Again, there are a lot of free-running, kind of run-and-gun shooting type of games. It needs to have something unique to it. The setting is kind of unique, but even beyond that, the setting, I think it needs to be more than just a unique setting. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this game, or just games in general and the face of games in VR right now. This is Demeter, I think it's how it's said. It's a mixed reality Quest 3 game that is kind of a platforming puzzle type thing. Apparently it uses your environment and like the items you put in your environment to tell this story of this sci-fi kind of crash and this person. It's mixed reality, and it uses mixed reality interestingly. I'm not sure if it would have been better to do like VR, if it has a VR mode, because it would definitely look better and be more immersive. And this last one is Nico Atsuma Perfect. I don't think I've mentioned this before. Maybe I did. I'm trying to keep this list all original with games I have not mentioned in the past. This is a cat game, and it does have a mixed reality mode. This one actually looks like it's fun because it brings a cat into your room, and you can interact with the cat in your actual room, which is cool. I don't know what else to say about this, except for it's cats. And there you go. There's a whole bunch of games coming to the Quest next year that were not previously announced, or at least the majority of them were not previously announced. Which of these is your favorite? Which are you looking forward to the most? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more Quest and VR content. And as always, happy questing.